Hi everybody, my name is Max. I'm one of the trainers and an owner with Ready, Set, Train. And today we're gonna have our starting video and a new series about loose leash walking. So today we're gonna talk about just leash mechanics, how to hold the leash, where to put the dog, how to reward the dog. So when we start to do some of these loose leash walking exercises, your mechanics are gonna be on point and we're gonna set the dog up for the most success. We're going to talk about today is a technique called cross-leash handling, and we're going to use this technique for all of our loose leash walking exercises. What cross-leash handling means is that the leash is held in the hand that is opposite to the side that the dog is walking on. So for me, Icy is walking on my left, so the leash would be in my right hand. And we do this because it makes it very easy to reward the dog in position where we want them to be. We don't want to be reaching across our body and having the dog come out in front of us or get out of position. That's not going to help us with loose leash walking. So what we'll do, I'll try to get Icy's attention here. She's sniffing the flowers. Icy. I have the treats in my left hand and I'm delivering those treats right next to my left leg. I would ideally like it that Icy's head is kind of right at my left leg or maybe a tiny bit in front. I, again, don't want to give her treats way out here, out in front, out to the side. Where you reward your dog is where they're going to end up. So we want to reward them in the position that we want them to stay. Icy. So this is what we're going to start to do, is reward the dog at our side. The other thing that we want to pay attention to is the amount of leash that we give the dog at first. So Icy right now is on a 4-foot leash. A 4 to 6 foot leash is good for starting with loose leash walking. Anything longer than that, you're going to wrap it around your hand a million times. Anything shorter than that, the dog doesn't have enough room to really move around. We have to pay attention to the tension on the leash. So I'll try to get her to straighten out. We want a nice J, just like this. No tension. Even if Icy is walking right next to me, if I have tension like this, she feels that tension and she thinks that that tension, if we go forward, that pulling behavior is working. So that's the biggest thing with loose leash walking, is tension is bad for the dog. It means that we're stopping. It means that we're turning the other direction, but it doesn't work to get where we want to go. So we always want that nice little J. We're giving them just about enough leash to walk next to us, to wander a little bit, but not get a lot of momentum going if they decide to lunge or pull. The final couple of things with our leash mechanics before we start to do some actual walking. One is we want to make sure we don't get in a tug of war match with the dog. So if I am holding my arm out in front of me and Icy starts to pull, I'm off my center of gravity and it's going to be more difficult to get the dog to come back to me. So we don't want to hold our arm out in front of us. We don't want to get in a tug of war match with the dog. We want to try to use our bodies to control the dog if they start to pull or lunge towards something. So what I do is I keep my feet shoulder width apart. I lock my hand at my center of gravity. So for me, that's right about at my belly button. And then as I start to walk with the dog, if they start to pull, what's going to happen is I can stop and I can use my body weight to stop the dog. I'm not getting in that tug of war match. If they were really pulling hard and lunging towards something or like trying to drag me over to something, I could turn with my legs and I could go in the opposite direction. Our goal with the walking exercises is that those situations don't happen too much and that we teach the dog just the appropriate spot to be in relation to our bodies. But that might happen, and especially if you have a big, powerful, strong dog, we want to make sure that they're not able to yank us, hurt themselves, or have bad situations happen. So if we practice these leash mechanics, it's going to help. What I recommend at first is we're just going to do a little exercise that helps you get used to holding the leash like this. It helps the dog start to kind of learn to stay at our side. It's a luring exercise, or you could think of it as continuous reinforcement. So what I do is I take a handful of treats in my left hand, and then I put them down at my side, and I create almost a little hole for like it's a Kong. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a couple of steps, and as I walk, I'm letting Icy eat 1 or 2 treats every couple of steps. And this is just a good way to start to have you get comfortable with some leash mechanics, holding the leash like this, reinforcing at your side, and it helps the dog learn to stay in this position. They're not thinking about loose leash walking too much because there are just treats right to their nose, but this is just a quick warm up. Again, we're mostly talking about mechanics here. It's a way for you to start to get a little bit more comfortable. In the next series of videos, we'll start to go into some more actual walking exercises. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to keep checking in to see the other videos that we have in this Loose Leash Walking series. If you subscribe to our YouTube video, you'll get notifications when we upload the next video. You can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Facebook, and you can also go on our website, www.readysettraindogs.com. And if you need any training services, group classes, dog walking, private training, and you're in the greater Toledo area, please give us a call or sign up for one of our programs. Thanks so much for watching.